From the Delta to the Falls, from the Grotto to the newly constructed Defense Ministry building, nothing captures the rhythm of Equatorial Fredonia like Cadre cigarettes. Never a rough puff with Cadre, sponsors of the Committee Program.
Live from West Berlin, it's the Committee Program with Aaron Chaudhary, Julia Doubleday, Forrest, Lovette, Fiamma, Meli, Xhevat, Castrati, and yours truly, Jacopo, Castelletti. We join the show already in progress.
Hi, and welcome to the Committee Program. I am your host, Aaron Chaudhary. Look, this is one of our famous alternate week study content episodes where we watch films, listen to radio programs, anything that can help illustrate some of the communications principles that we talk about practicing on the show. And while today is a very special show, I do apologize generally for my appearance. It is extremely hot here in Genoa. And I have not been able to get to my things, and
Live from West.
So we already did the intro, number one, and number two. I was just saying that that I'm underdressed, and you've come in dressed normally, and it's not about you. It's about you in relationship to me. Our relationship is a ratio of you to me. We're not two individuals, and so we have to present ourselves in a certain way that's coherent.
Well, I mean, I've always been this way. Okay, no, maybe it's too hot. Maybe we shouldn't have.
It's very hot. It's very hot, and they don't know that, and now they think that I'm just disrespecting them.
But but the bar and everything, I thought it would have been cool.
No, it's fine. It's fine, and and Xhevat, you should probably try to clip all this out if you can.
And now, Committee Confessions.
We should do one just on trailers sometime. That's actually a great idea.
I love trailers. I want to make trailers.
And I will
Somebody
say,
give me that job.
And I will say that's a real job. And actually, I know. If you want to have a conversation with someone who there's this family of people who make it, and I know them. In LA, that's what they do. They make trailers. It's like, and
their
they can't get out
whole
of it.
family. That's like a small family business of trailer makers.
Absolutely, 100%. It's like LA. That's like how it works, right? It's like you have a little niche in like the entertainment industry, and you defend it. Like,
oh my god,
viciously.
can I just need to piggyback off this because yesterday I was on this guy's Twitter page. He's some independent filmmaker, writer guy. Don't remember his name. Don't know who he is, but he seems to think he's famous. And he had posted like a video about how to make it as an independent filmmaker, and it started out like a lot of people tell these stories. It's like my brother gave the script to his cousin, and then it went all the way up to the top, and they made it for $1 million. And
wait a minute, you told me this story.
No, I didn't, because I just watched it yesterday.
Oh, it's a different guy. This is other person who turns out to have made.
This is a different guy.
Okay.
No, that was
because this punchline works for that also,
Yeah, actually it does. But he's like, that's not realistic. And I was totally on board with this whole part. He was basically being like this like so-called American dream of making it in Hollywood. Like this isn't realistic. It's not what happens. Then this actor asked him like, I feel like it's so like incestuous in Hollywood and nepotistic, and I don't know how to break out. And he's like, well, what you really need to do, produce something of your own. And she had said that specifically in her question that she wanted to like produce stuff of her own as well. He was like, yeah, just produce something of your own, like get it into a film festival, and then when you're there, just go to drinks with the other people in the film festival, and don't like ask them for things, but just like have a good time with them and have this like party with them, and then they're gonna want to make stuff with you. And I'm like, that's the same motherfucking thing. That's the same thing you said doesn't happen.
Have you ever heard me tell a story of people like when I say like I left independent film to go into politics because it was less political, because actually film festival scene is the single most political thing you have ever witnessed. It's the most sickening.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, all he's describing is just like
and
nepotism
it's so
and
self-congratulatory, and the whole thing runs on like young idealistic filmmakers forking over like $75 they don't have as a processing fee for their film that gets rejected.
Right. Right.
Oh, it's
good business. Shit. Wait, yeah, I'll tell the other anecdote too. I mean, I just am assuming that I have unlimited airtime to talk about bullshit I saw online. All right, so this motherfucker is doing this thread that's like, to be a great screenwriter, what you have to do is just write a lot of crap first, and like you're gonna feel like what you're writing is crap, and then eventually you're just going to write something really great. And I didn't know who he was, so I was like, yeah, that's good advice. I need to start writing every day so that I can write something really like truly great or whatever. So I Googled to see what is this like truly great art that he managed to conjure out of the universe after many years of trying to write
Shakespeare
something.
put together.
Yeah, something amazing. Anyway, he wrote Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I just feel like this is why I can't make it,
I don't know enough about Guardians
fields.
of the Galaxy other than that it's dumb. Can you tell me, just is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 widely considered to be sort of the Godfather 2 of like schlocky comedy sci-fi?
Yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. Like, is
the sequel as good as the original? Because that's hard to do. That's hard. That's incredibly hard.
I can't remember, which should tell you all you need to know about these movies. Like, I've seen them multiple times.
Yeah.
I don't fucking
Asked
know.
and answered.
They all are written by an algorithm, is what it seems like. And so the fact that this man, who clearly has been given every fucking advantage to end up in this position writing this schlock, is like, I am a genius. This is why people who have any sort of actual self-doubt cannot succeed in artistic fields. Because if I could sit down and write Guardians of the Galaxy and be like, this is good, and not just immediately throw it out because it's trash, then, we'd all be millionaires. Except I'd have to know my cousin who works at the Warner Brothers mailroom. As we all know, that's the only way to get ahead.
Oh, dear Lord.
Anyway, that's all my hate for today on Marvel. I don't want to get the fucking crazy Marvel people after me. They're like a worse like K-Hive or Musk people or I'm just gonna get them all after me, aren't I? I'll stop talking.
I don't know what you're doing. We're trying to run a show here.
Comite, comitato, comitiet, comiteto, carul, comite, we youngwe, submite.
Estos son algunos de los miles de ganadores del fantástico mundo del deporte de Bills y Pup. Ellos destaparon y ganaron bicicletas de carrera, mochila, pelota, multijuego y miles de aerodiscos. Quedan más de 50.000 premios. Apúrate y sigue destapando y ganando en el fantástico mundo del deporte de Bills y Pup.
Estamos presentando Super Premier Universal. Estamos presentando Super Premier Universal. Atención.
Esta es la hora Tricot.
Y la hora del descuento es solo entre 10 y 13 horas todos los días en Tricot.
Movie for a committee afternoon.
Hi, and welcome to Movie for a Committee Afternoon. I'm your host, Arun Chaudhary. With us is co-host and announcer Jacopo Castelletti, and we are here live in Genova, Liguria, Italy. But we are not going to be talking about Genova, Liguria, or Italy. Both the films we're going to watch are from a much different place, from Canada. Yeah, from Canada. And what's interesting about Canada, it is one of the places where a film program was set up extremely deliberately with an extremely good reason. I would actually compare it to kind of early Soviet filmmaking, in which they had a big empty country that they were trying to unify, 13 time zones in which they were trying to use films to kind of unify it together. Vertov famously has a film called 1/5 of the World. The Canadian Film Board, in the same way, set up by Grierson and a lot of folks from the UK, was set up to form a national identity for Canada, a country that did not have one, and has been, I think, very successful. There are some films we watched last season. Paul Tomkowitz was one, a portrait of a Polish refugee living in Canada. But today we're going to watch two different ones that I think show very different sides of Canadian identity as being put forth in this project of the Canadian Film Board. And the first is 1969's You're on Indian Land, which is directed by Mike Mitchell and is about the Akwesasne people, about a border dispute between Canada and that nation. And I will say, oftentimes, just before we watch this, oftentimes we think of Canada as being this kind of cute, cuddly version of America. But let me tell you, it's just socialized medicine attached to an oil company. That is actually all Canada is, and their treatment of many First Canadians has been less than stellar, and in fact, quite reprehensible. So, I'll be interested to see what you think.
Oh, I think it was. It's a great movie. Especially
You've seen it before.
Yes, of course. I really like the lights and the I haven't seen the movie.
No. Watch the film. Watch the film. Let's not pretend.
There's been many wrongs done in the past. And today we don't even trust a white man coming into this reservation. You cannot blame us for that. We don't want to be a Canadian citizen. We don't want to be American citizens. They told us a long time ago that we were North American Indians. And today we feel this way too. We feel this way because we think that this reservation is ours. And it does not belong to the white man. It's the only part we still have left.
The people of Akwesasne, which the white man calls the St. Regis Reservation, have lived on this land long before the two countries decided to draw a line between themselves. That line was not meant for Indians, and our right to cross it with our belongings, paying no duty, was confirmed in the Jay Treaty of 1794. The Canadian government never got around to making this treaty into law, and now they say we must pay duty on our groceries as we carry them to our houses, if we happen to cross their line. Many of us have to pay $1 to cross the bridge they built on our land, and they even built a custom house there too, without our consent. We went to Ottawa and talked with officials and got no answer. So we took action ourselves.
Notice, this is an Indian reserve. Any person who trespasses an Indian reserve is guilty of an offense and is liable on a summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $50, or to an imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 month, or to both fine and imprisonment. That's what it says, and that's what we're going to use. Their own medicine.
On December 18, 1968, the usual heavy traffic between the two countries ground to a stop. We decided to block the bridge.
This is international. Put it on all the cars. Give it to some of the other kids. Pass it around.
Yeah. I'll put it on the inside.
Look at this car right here. Better yet, we can leave it up front. Hey, let's find out if we can get a Scotch tape too, huh?
It was 8 above with a cold wind. Mike Mitchell had forgotten his gloves, and no one had thought about bringing Scotch tape.
If we only get some Scotch tape, I even need that out now. All right, here's the first roadblock here. We're claiming this land back.
I'll take a number.
Sorry, folks, but we're claiming this land back to the Indians.
That's the way it should be.
This is Indian land, so,
I thought you were going to do it at 9 o'clock, though.
Oh, you're not from the press, are you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I'm sorry, then you think. And this your...
Actually, I was planning to go down the lane.
Oh.
oh, we're sorry.
Oh, come on, what are you going to go hard out?
There's a bridge further up.
Eh, då ska das. Men jag går ihåg var.
Så varför då?
Scotch tape, det jag. Okay. Tell the others. They shouldn't have gone to school anyway.
Then the police arrived.
To be part of the St. Regis Indian Reserve. And therefore the people who are coming here who will be trespassers.
Well, I can't allow the road to be blocked, understand? This is contrary to our laws.
Well, you understand also that this is part of the reserve.
No, I understand your
And under the Indian Act, Section 31, that's trespassing.
Quite all right.
These are our lands. We're just standing on it. We're having a meeting now, and we are Indians on our own land, and if anybody comes on that causes trouble, we charge them with trespass.
Well, that's all right, but now I'm asking you fellas to get off the roadway. You're blocking the road between two countries, and this we can't allow.
And you won't listen to our reasoning, huh?
Well, I listen to your reason, but what can I do? This is the law. You can't block the road.
The law states you as peace officers have to enforce this. Now, you're on Indian land, under the Section 31 of the Indian Act, specifically to a peace officer.
What about the
Any
code if
trespass?
they're blocking the road?
This is part of the reserve, no? Then there was
Well, I don't understand
until they can prove it different. Tell us we're not on Indian land. Then you can come in and arrest who you want. But up until that time...
Now, anybody interfering with us will have to arrest you. This is, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have a lot of people to arrest.
I suppose.
Oh, that's great. Just keep putting them there. We got to stand here. We're going to stand here ourselves. Let them take us. Because there's going to be more.
Get everybody to bring their cars over here.
Give me lunch. Actually, you're going to want to run right in here. I didn't know truck here. I did. I just got in here.
Badge numbers.
John Boots remarked to Mike that the police weren't wearing their badges.
You want my number? Yes. Number 40. Number 40.
Write that down.
Keep writing it down.
That's city police, eh? That's right.
I have no number. My name is Deputy Chief Poirier.
Chief Poirier. Oh, is it deputy?
My name is Sergeant Snyder.
Sergeant Snyder. Corner police?
Sergeant Snyder.
All right. You fellas also realize you're on Indian territory?
When people asked Ernie Benedict who sent the police, he told them the government sent them, I suppose. But they came from the city of Cornwall.
In Cornwall, they got no right here on a reservation.
Cornwall claims to have annexed our island, though according to the law, only the federal government has authority over the little land that we have left.
Interference.
Arrest. Oh, that's handy. The way we're going to have to arrest you for obstructing justice.
We're placing you under arrest. We're placing you under arrest.
All right.
Come on with us.
We'll go overnight out of the car.
What's the time, Mike?
9:20 or 9:35.
Who is she?
Sarah Sherrill.
I know it. We're not going to have no police brutality or anything.
Well, there won't be any. You don't have to worry.
Well, if there is, it'll go all over the country because there's reporters from all over.
It has been said that a number of white people from Cornwall turned out to join us. But the only white people we saw, except for policemen, were reporters and photographers.
You understand? Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
People shouted in Mohawk, "Don't get mad. Don't fight back."
You two, you're under arrest. Let's go. Wait.
Here, no brutality.
We don't want that.
No?
Oh, come on.
Mike, you know, this is going all over the world.
That's fine.
The brutality.
Okay.
They carry us 20,000, and that's how much it's going to be here.
Okay, I got to see you in it.
alcohol now! There's alcohol now! It's your hand! There's alcohol now! Come on. Let him run over! Let him run over! Let's run around there.
Come on.
You're not ashamed of that. You better call up that.
Come on.
Come on, boys.
Hey, come on.
There's one.
Come on.
Hey, my leg!
Let's go.
There's alcohol now.
Come on, please. Come on now.
What's the matter with you? What's the matter? That's a lady or something.
Come on, bring her on.
Watch it.
All over the cup. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Push them on.
Keep going. Come on, bring her on.
Watch it.
All over the cup. Go ahead.
Structure.
Come on.
Just a minute here.
That's for what?
I asked for that.
Hey, we're not animals, you know.
I can watch.
You're treating
Go over a bit.
See you guys in Disneyland.
Come on.
Where am I going?
Oh, come on.
You have to.
We don't want to.
Only you guys can put on a show?
No.
Huh?
We're not putting on this.
Then what are you guys doing here?
We don't want to reach the top. Come on.
You're such a gun!
Put her in, too. Put her in, too. Give me some. Put her in.
Well, that's the fun one.
It is. They went to check.
You've made your point. Move your cars now. You've made your point.
No.
Move your cars.
Every Indian.
We will need to
arrest everybody.
Every Indian.
Well, if we have to,
these
we'll
are-
have to. That's all there is.
Don't do it.
Now, there are two things that were to be decided here. That we own this land on which we stand. The other, the customs officers have been enforcing laws which are in violation of an international treaty. These are the two issues. The country of Canada has the responsibility of keeping its good name among other nations, and not only with just Indians. So we are faced with a demonstration here in which we have shown that we can act peaceably. The officers have asked us now to call off the demonstration. We want to leave it to you to decide. Now, each of us is very excited, and even though we have not used any force that I could see against the police, still there may be some anger in our minds. Now, how do you feel about this?
Shall this continue longer?
Yes.
Yeah,
it has to.
They took R&B to the jail already. What's the matter? Why?
The point is, you cannot make a bargain. You cannot make a bargain with the police. You cannot make a bargain with the government. You can't make a bargain at all with them. We know we're doing the right thing because this is Indian land. And these people here are trespassers. We know that, they know that, and they have no right to come here and to throw the Indians off their own land. We have to stay here. We cannot leave.
We gotta stay here till they take the last Indian. Until there's not one other Indian left. We're going to scare us, but we don't scare easily. Canada is now trying to break laws. They are not following the laws. They are lawless. And you know that anybody who doesn't follow the laws is going to die by lawlessness. There's going to be bloodshed in this country because they don't follow the laws.
Remember, it isn't us that's breaking the law. They're saying we're breaking the law. We are not breaking the law.
We are not breaking the law. We are doing what is right. And the world is looking at us. The whole world is looking at us right here and now. Are we going to give up? No. Or are we going to fight until there's not one Indian left here? Yes. Are we going to send out a call to our brothers and sisters all over North America to come and help us?
Yes. We're asking you to move. Now, if you've had your meeting and you've made your point, please move.
We're not moving.
Okay, then.
Come on, everybody get here.
Hey.
Is that right now? Turn the women's clothes.
Yeah, that's true. Hold up. Point, eh? Holding up this thing.
Give us what we want.
I cannot order anyone. I can speak for them. But I am not but I have not been delegated any authority over them.
Is there anybody here with authority?
I do not. As far as I can see among these people, they are all free people, and they each have their own conscience to deal with. They must act according to their own initiative, their own. They must judge for themselves what they will do. Now, this is my own personal opinion. I have no authority over anyone. I cannot order anyone to do anything.
Well, as far as I can see now, the Indians have made their point. I see no reason why you should block this road any longer. I'm going to ask you once more to move these cars out of here. These people who own these cars better remove them. Otherwise, we're going to have to use force to do so.
Are you working for...
Well, they're...
from Ottawa?
No, I'm not with the federal police.
Well, the officer tell us just to what extent we have made our point so far.
It's going to be in all the news medias. You've got recognition.
We want more than that.
Don't you think, Mr. Benedict is your name?
Yes.
Don't you think, Mr. Benedict, the point has been well made there now, and you're not going to gain anything further here?
I have told them that they have made their point.
I think what you should do now is go back to the negotiating table with the authorities and discuss the matter with them, and not we can do.
Have you heard whether there will be a negotiating table immediately?
Well, I haven't heard nothing. I don't know what your superintendent has heard. I haven't heard a thing. I was talking to Mr. Whitebeam this morning, but he wasn't too clear as to what was taking place.
The band council chief didn't know what was going on either.
They've made their point today.
If they made their point, why don't to clear the road up? I want to get home. I'm a sick man, that's all. I just come out of the hospital. I want to get through and I want to get back in bed.
They won't listen to you?
They might jump on him.
Oh,
He's our chief.
They won't jump on him.
Hey, I'll go there. Who is the chief of police?
Mr. Clark's there.
Is he here?
He's here.
I want him to give me a permit to handle a sidearm, and then I'll get off.
Oh, you won't need them. If you want to come, we'll guarantee your safety.
You give me a permit, I'll get off. I'll go over there.
Will you talk to them?
Yes.
Well, you come with me then.
You give me a permit to carry my arms?
No, I can't give you a permit to carry arms, but if you want to come over and talk to them, I'll take you over.
Get this damn thing out of here.
Okay.
I'll get my damn jack crank and I'll smash that thing on your face.
Okay, boy, come on. Okay?
In Ottawa, they say the band council chief is a nice old guy that doesn't make trouble. They consider him our representative. Many of us do not, as most of us do not vote in elections for the band council. It is our way of protesting against an elective system imposed on us by the Canadian government.
Get them fellows out of the road. What is the police department doing over here? Clear the road off.
Okay, come on.
We had fine men on the band council who resigned because they felt it does not carry our wishes to Ottawa, but brings Ottawa's wishes to us.
The chiefs in St. Regis are like puppets. Whatever Ottawa says, pulls the strings and they do it. And now Ottawa listen. So we had our grievances to the chiefs in St. Regis by the Indian Act. We put a petition, and they don't listen to us. They just toss it aside. So we go to Ottawa, send some delegations to Ottawa. Well, they said we have nothing to do. You have to go back to the chiefs in St. Regis. So we're pushed around. So now, that has come to this. And unless Ottawa agrees and helps us, our determination is we'll have to go on and keep blocking this road until Ottawa agrees. That's the will of the people. That's what they want. They don't want to be hushed up anymore. They want to talk. They want to have their own ways, their own laws in which to get by. They don't want to be hushed up by the chiefs or by Ottawa. They have to make an expression.
We contacted the Prime Minister of Canada. We told him that we want an audience with him. We were a delegation from the people of St. Regis. We wanted an audience to discuss the problems of excise tax on Cornwall Island. He refused to see us. So our argument is with the Prime Minister. He refuses to recognize us.
You wouldn't expect to go right up there and see him without...
Why not?
Well, unless
he's a busy man.
So are we.
Oh, I realize that, but you wouldn't expect to have a Prime Minister.
Working for the people.
Oh, I know.
We have waited all these years.
101 years.
You've made your point.
101 years of injustice, and he hasn't got 2 minutes to spare for the Indians,
Talk
eh?
to the people. Ask the people
Why
what
don't
they
you
want.
do this? You've made your point. You got nothing further to gain here today by leaving your cars where they are. Move them, open up the bridge.
Oh, yes, we are making our point in Ottawa this way. That's what
You've
we're
made
gaining.
it. You've made it.
That's what we're gaining.
We want it
made it.
strong.
You
We want to make it strong.
Well, you made it strong. I can't see what stronger you're going to make it.
Well, it's gonna remain stronger because the residents of Cornwall and the residents of Messina are going to be getting out of work soon, and they're going to want to get home.
No. Well, you can't do that. You're not going to keep the bridge closed much longer.
Well,
we've told you. We've told you there now. We've tried to reason with you.
There'll be more of us.
We want...
Yes, we are. If you want to arrest us, if you want to arrest me,
no, we don't want to
say
arrest
so.
you. We're asking to ask to reason.
We'll go with you peacefully to your jail.
No.
It's warm there.
You have to
It's
arrest
warm there. We don't have to stay out in the cold.
Then you
Unit
can
there.
There's enough.
Okay, boy.
Hold it.
Take it easy there. Take it easy. You don't want to get trapped.
Give me my hat. Hey! Quick, push it up, people!
The children are going to get hurt.
Come on, Two, three, four, hey, you're off step. Turn around and get out of here. All right.
Esther Thompson was the only member of the band council who was with us that day. Others later said they were behind us. We asked, "What are you doing behind us? You should have been out there with us."
They're putting him in a dungeon. Underage, too. Yeah, underage. Goody.
Hey, I'll need that sign you put in there.
Now we're going to get some more.
May, please, I got it. And then Sergeant. Hey, there's a car behind you.
As soon as a car had been towed away, it was pushed back into the blockade again.
Hold the horn.
Come on, get out of the way, kid.
Out the window.
Get out of the way.
Hold the horn! Hey, that's what you pay for this car.
What's his number, Peter?
Mark, fine, I like that. Property, you can't do that.
Pass the deputy if he wants it broken. I'll break it.
Caught away.
The other car. Keep on going.
Get this car.
Get a jackknife! Hey, that's no fair! He had a knife! You're gonna It's the small window!
Give a hand there.
Lock her up.
Lock her up.
No, I'm picking it up.
Okay, so get it going.
Police brutality!
Get out of the way. Stand it on up.
Fever go! Yeah, let it go!
All right, go into the police station.
No, I
Nothing's
said let
gonna-
it go!
Nothing will happen to her.
Let it go!
Are you taking her?
I'm taking her home.
Okay, you're under arrest. Obstruction. Come on. I don't want to do this. It's the last thing I want to do.
You're doing it.
Come on, Herb.
Hey.
Well, you're doing a good job. Get in with your daughter. Come on, we'll go with your daughter.
Come on, block. Come on, block. Don't let it go.
I didn't get Herb. I didn't get his name.
Aquí con. Signore, nie ja no. Onagi onis nena am hetkane. Ona gigana karihton radistero. Ja ona ja tedas hon stelista. Neda hadi lihtanyo, to ani asako di kale wahte no ungwe. Ona gadi ne oko huwe. Onakci jatka hadi jele, onakino neji on hon sero haste. Negadi
Yata dia to honjo. Nega di ni jini ochi de gatore. Yata dia to honjo yato de ochi ninga. Dion guari huison. Ne toni ore nyawe. Nega ne waga ahonderi o hato tana tantat kare wahtan. Ona giga jini ore ni gion kueno. Wahiga ji yo ya dahnir. Ona wa itina don hase. Chinena kan gyokwa. Toni hodili hoda. Tano yahuni don tahadi tsanis. Nena ya tahadilege. Nena garito. Hua yo dapsa. Toka onka hua ye na. O gerok toa hua gare waste. Asa go ona kwahiga ji la disalo. I am very much worried that there may be mistakes made, and that afterwards the things that we are arguing about, that we have grievances about, will not be the ones to be judged. I am worried that as tempers become short, there may be bodily harm to somebody. Somebody may get hurt, and I do not want any of my people to be hurt. So, I am asking that this group will meet together at the recreation hall, the community hall on Cornwall Island, to decide what more should be done. Legal advice needs to be gotten, and we need to think about the ones who have been taken away, and that the trial of the grievances in which we have an interest will be fair and will be heard. I think that it is enough. Now, those who are of that opinion will come down to the community hall.
Hey, Ernie.
We were acquitted when we were finally called to court. We were encouraged by the support we received from across the continent and from far away as Peru and Europe. But our questions remain unanswered. We were to have many meetings with representatives of the 5 federal, state, and provincial governments which claim jurisdiction in Akwesasne.
We want to make it very clear that our feelings is very strong. Even Mr. Creighton said, I understand how you feel. He says, the Indian Act is there for you because you're a minority. He says, you feel really bad about it. He says, I'm a minority group. I belong to the minority group myself. He says, I understand how you feel. And why doesn't he have a French Act if he's a minority? We have an Indian Act. We're a minority. That was a wrong thing for him to say. But if it's going to have to be that way, I think they should have an Indian for a minister for French affairs. In a system which you got now on this reservation, 1/2 of this reservation legislates laws, and on this side the other. Even though we are cousins, we are brothers and sisters, we have to live like this. We don't like it, and we don't want to live by it anymore. An Indian man here will marry an Indian woman from across the river, or vice versa. She has to sign off this reservation, and she has to sign a paper that says that she married a non-Indian. She gets a little check, and she sells her Indian. She's not an Indian anymore. But she married another Indian. Now, what kind of a system is that? I think that's white man's system.
Mr. McGill, would you, going back to Ottawa or to Toronto, would you do anything personally to study the question of the border separating a nation or dividing a nation into 2 parts?
Mr. Chairman, I would report the kind of comments and questions and the feelings that have come out here. That's all I would do.
We don't get any direct answers from the authorities. Why was the bridge built according to a deal made between the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Indian Affairs before consulting with us? Why was more land expropriated than was needed? Why have we not yet been paid for damage to our farmlands and beaches? The agreement with the Seaway specified that the customs house should not be built on our land. Yet there it now stands, along with an office building, garage, gas lines, customs shed, and a toll station.
We come back here.
Other Indian nations across the continent share the same problems. Our neighbors pollute our land. The little that we have left is nibbled away by lease, appropriation, annexation. Our treaty rights are forgotten. Other people's borders divide us. Our councils are still supervised by white civil servants whose duty it is to guide us to civilization.
I think a lot of times we were more civilized than the white man at point of history. We didn't trick anybody. We never broke a treaty. But that Jay Treaty, that Treaty of Ghent, which reaffirmed it, stated in there that the Indians were obliged to cease making wars on the white man. You see, Mr. McGillip, when that treaty was broken, that meant that we must again have been at war with the white man. Because when you break a treaty, this is what it signifies. And it just goes to show you we are still at peace. We didn't break our side. We didn't go to war yet.
So that was cool, right?
Sí, it was
Yeah.
not bad.
So next we have something that is much different. It is not in the documentary style, which this one is. This last one was very much tradition of Grierson. This is an experimental film from the Quebecois Marxist school. They made lots of interesting films in the late 60s and early 70s. This one is called Day After Day. That's English translation. And you'll see, it won a lot of awards for experimental sound technique, but the idea is to show the drudgery of working at this paper mill in Quebec, to show that alongside things that we may not consider to be drudgery in our lives, but in fact are maybe intellectual, maybe spiritual drudgery. You know, we get quotes from the Bible, we get quotes from, instruction manuals, we get, lists, just endless lists. The idea that that is capitalist life. That your time, your work, your intellectual life, and your pleasure are categorized by time and, in fact, tyrannized by time. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth." Then men said, "Let us make the machine in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. One and one are two. 2 and 2 are 4. 3 and 3 are 6. If a certain receptacle is filled in 24 hours by a faucet running at a constant speed, of what dimension will be the receptacle filled by the same faucet running for 40 years? I seem to remember her saying, Pierre, Pierre, but she never thought a thing. $30,000,000 trees, 10,000 lumbermen, 10,000 lonely women, 40 villages, 1 ministry. A material in thin sheets made of wood, rags, and vegetable substances with which to write, to pay, and to communicate, if possible. $30,000,000 trees, 10,000 lumbermen, 10,000 lonely women, 2 unions, 40 villages, 1 ministry. Three dozen eggs, 1 sliced loaf, a bunch of carrots, 10 pounds of potatoes, 1 cabbage, 2 pounds of butter, 1 tin of tomatoes, 12 ladyfingers, one eye. Peace River Valley and Edmonton. Rain stopping. Finally. Grande Prairie, minimum 30, maximum 45. Moose Jaw, Winnipeg. Clear tonight. Happy dreams. Pontiac, Témiscamingue, Abitibi. Sunny this morning. Good day. Montreal, Eastern Townships, and Quebec City. Minimum 40, maximum 50. 38 and 43. 40 and 60. Minimum 18 years old. Maximum 60. Minimum 65 cents. Maximum $2.25 per hour. Minimum 35. Maximum 48 hours per week. So they make paper from 2 by 4 to 5 by 8, from 30 by 40 to 80 by 90, from Monday to Saturday, from 8 to 12, from 12 to 4, from 4 to midnight, from father to daughter. There was a tape. Richmond, Boone, thief as well as bakerman, doctor and lawyer, butcher, baker, sailor, soldier boy. There was a tinker. There was a tailor. Richmond, Boone, thief as well as bakerman, doctor and lawyer, butcher, baker, sailor, soldier boy. There was a tinker. There was a King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. Called for his pipe, and called for his bowl, called for his fifth, his three. Seesaw, Marjorie Door, Jackie Shahai, Mask, Johnny got a Jackie mustache, over it because he can't work any flat. Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle on, Polly put the kettle over the ocean, all of his hat. Johnny broke the cookie jar and blamed it on me. I told Ma, Ma told Pa, Johnny got a licking. Ha ha ha. Richmond, thief as well as bakerman, butcher, baker, sailor. Christmases, Saturdays, Labor Days, holidays, dresses that we dress in, dresses we dress up in, Hurry, Isabelle. Midnight approaches. Choose your partner, skip to Melu. Choose your partner, skip to Melu. Skip to Melu, my darling. One to the front, one to the rear, one for the mill, one for the house, one for smile, one for love, one for spring, one for love. And on the seventh day, God rested. Passengers departing for Acapulco should report to gate number 7. At 6 bells, we will cross the equator. We'll be landing in half an hour. Passengers are requested to prepare their baggage for customs inspection and to complete their declaration forms. Fasten your seatbelts and please refrain from crying until we are airborne over Montevideo. For permission to speak to the Queen, is it necessary to tip the Buckingham Palace guard? I wonder if I can get a ticket for the first interplanetary trip. There isn't one berth left on the Istanbul Express. The departure is postponed indefinitely. B13 068 N33. Jack of diamonds, Queen of hearts, 10 of clubs. Frankie and Johnny were lovers, but Mother was in the dark. B12. Isabel is waiting. O4. Her prince will come. G4 to midnight. He will not come. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not bear false witness. But you shall pay the union due and income tax to Canada too. But the machine said. But the machine said. But the machine said.
So that was our double feature.
Not
Jacopo?
bad, huh? That was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, generally, what has your impression of Canadians changed?
Not just, I mean, they're cool, but yeah, that was definitely something.
What you just did there is, I think, the universal reaction. They're cool, and you tilt your head, and you're not, but you're not totally sure, right? Yeah. Look, I think that shows the promise and the peril of the Canadian Film Board project. Can we make a culture that unifies ourselves, and then can we project that to the world? I think they've succeeded in A. I think they're still trying at B.
Are there any Canadians in the room? No. Yeah.
Canadians, please reach out to us. Come on in. We'd like to make fun of Justin Trudeau some more. We did that on the show for a while, and we look forward to hearing from you. And look, thanks for joining us this week. Right? Yeah, we didn't want to spend our weekend in Genoa without giving you something, and we decided to give you two somethings, a double feature.
Merci beaucoup.
La imagen por la cual vale la pena arriesgar la vida, sacrificarse hasta la muerte.
Thanks so much for tuning into the committee program. We know you have many options when it comes to content consumption, and we appreciate your attention to this new season with new episodes on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and at 10 p.m. Central European Time. You can support the show by becoming a member on patreon.com/the committee program. You can follow committee on Twitter, /committee-pro, on YouTube, the committee program, on Instagram, the committee program, on Facebook, the committee program, and you can visit the committee program company store at tpublic.com, the committee program shop. Special thanks, as always, to our team, Xhevat Castrati, Fiamma Meli, Jacopo Castelletti, Forrest, Lovette, and committee's deputy director, Julia Doubleday. Look alive out there. It's later than you think.
It's the end of our broadcast day. Thanks for listening. This was the 19th program in our second series. For more global infotainment from the committee program, click on the video screen right or screen left. Please like and subscribe to the committee program on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern and 10 p.m. Central European Time.